So of this 80% of men or women, why can't you find somebody? And so that should put your checklist in check, because that means your checklist is not parallel to reality. It's not parallel to exactly to your reality. And I remember I said this the other day, like, you can't make $32,000 a year looking for a man that makes $189 a year. I mean, can it happen? Yes, anything is possible. However, what is the likelihood of it happening?
1% chance.
It's not exactly. It's not that likely. So, do you want to keep spinning your wheels every day, running into the wrong kind of men which are men who don't want you, or men who are not good for you, or men who will not, can't even have a fucking conversation with them? Like, are you going to keep spinning your wheels with these kind of people? Or are you going to, like, bring yourself into reality? Are you going to quit being delusional? Like, the delusion is what's killing us. Like, you think you so great and you deserve somebody else. No, what do you qualify for? And you say this all the time, Rico. What do you qualify for? And I'm not saying to, like, down yourself. It's great to have self-esteem and this, that, and the other. But come on now, self-esteem does not include delusion.
No, it don't.
You know?
But in 2023,
it
helps the self-esteem. I'm not going to lie.
But you know what also is another thing, too, is that there are some men and there are some women who couldn't pick a good partner if I gave them 10 and they had to choose 1 out of 10 and all 10 were good partners. They still missed the mark.
I think a lot of that, though, is because we are constantly thinking there's something more.
Better, yeah.
We're never content, and not like in a settling type of way. Like, we are never content. It's like, this person is 90% of what I want. It's got to be a 99 out there. It's like, that is so ridiculous.
It is.
Especially once you get to a certain point in life and you know that you may want certain things that are biologically controlled. Like, you want a family. How long are you going to chase 99% if you 47?
And at one point,
how long are you going to chase that?
And at one point, it's not necessarily settling, because we talk about settling all the time. At one point, once you get to a certain percentage, okay, you're not settling. You're just
greedy.
Delusional.
Yeah,
now you're just looking, because ain't nobody out here 100%. Somebody somebody is not gonna have that piece that maybe the person can't drive. All right, we know you wanted a NASCAR driver out this bitch, but the person you just drive for him. You know what I'm saying?
Like you think about, so many people think Beyonce, right, is like top tier, probably incredible, a wonderful wife, all the things. Beyonce is infamously known for not being able to cook. She can't cook.
And messy. She doesn't like clean up after.
So can we really, like, if Beyonce can't cook, y'all, like, and Jay-Z okay with it?
But they can afford.
Really no
but
choice.
they can't afford.
If Jay-Z wasn't Jay-Z, he'd be in the 80%. Okay.
Of course.
Like, let's be real. Let's be real.
Yeah,
Now,
He'd be in
you
the.
got to be able to take
if
some.
Jay-Z wasn't Jay-Z, we don't know what he'd be like.
He'd be Sean Carter in the Marcy Projects.
Well, how would you know after all these years that he would still be in a
You probably could have got him a sugar mama.
No, but his name is Sean Carter, and he's from the Marcy Projects.
No, that's where he's from, but that's not where he was going to be going, you know, if he wasn't Jay-Z. How you know he was still going to be there, Aaron? That's my question.
Like young 20s, so he still would have been Sean Carter in the Marcy Project.
But there's a lot of people that don't know what a good partner looks like, and that's because they listen
city.
to the outside resources.
Mm-hmm.
They listen to social media. They base their current situation off prior experiences. Anything that could resemble something that looks like something that that was in their past that they did not like, they automatically cut it off. And then next thing you know, it's like, well, damn, you really think about it, you were never capable of picking a good partner. So what makes you think it's going to be easy now? Because it's not. There's still the reasons why you're picking bad partners probably is because you don't know what you want and you don't know how to identify it. So you keep falling into this cycle, and now you're blaming the dating pool. No, it's you. You got to do some real self-reflecting so then you can understand what you need to go after, what really works for you. And unfortunately, you have to learn from experiences, because we can't tell you how to be you. You got to deal with that man that's cheating on you for you to realize that cheating is a deal breaker. You got to deal with that woman that doesn't cook and doesn't clean for you to realize that that's a deal breaker. You know what I'm saying? Because we all think we know what we want until we get it, and now we back in the dating pool.
Yeah.
And you
Okay.
realize, like, damn, the cooking and cleaning actually wasn't quite enough. I need a little bit more than
You
that.
just got a raise. I could have hired.
It's the conditioning. It's the conditioning for good, conditioning for bad. I agree with you. You don't know until you know. We were talking about that a little bit earlier. Like, you really don't know until you know, and you have to try some things out to see if you like it or if you don't like it, so that you can be a better picker. But really, for me, it's so that you can make sure that you are being what you say you want. You can. I know they say opposites attract. I think that's partly true. I think more than anything, we're a lot more drawn to similarities. That's what bonds us. Commonality bonds us.
Yeah.
So if I say I want someone that's ambitious and is emotionally intelligent and is fit, let's just say that. Well, at minimum, I need to try to be those three things myself, because I'm thinking that that type of person is looking for that too. So you have to turn the mirror onto yourself and try to be who you say you want. So hopefully you manifest, or whatever we're calling it today, but you draw in that type of energy to your life. I think you can find that partner when you decide to be that partner.
You know, one other thing that we should consider, and I guess to add this to your list, Rico, the problem why some people don't know how to pick a partner, a good partner, is because they've never seen it. Their grandparents didn't have a good relationship. Their parents didn't have a good relationship. Their siblings aren't married. Like, you know, they've never had any sort of like fundamentally sound relationships around them. And if you don't see it, one, you don't have anything to aspire to other than what you see on Instagram or whatever. So I just say, while you're right, I will say let's give people a bit of grace in knowing that a lot of people, or some people, don't have anything to rely on when it relates to having seen a healthy, fundamentally sound relationship that's gonna like flourish at some.
To follow like
And
a
I agree,
blueprint.
but you know what, Aaron? I'm with you. I agree with you 100%, but I don't cut slack, right? And there's a
Right.
reason. Because the same things, it's like I said, if you could throw it in front of their face. We watch people post their relationships on Instagram. And although, yes, we do know that sometimes it is a fake, happy relationship. But there are a lot of people who would be like, can't be real, without even knowing. You get what I'm saying? So, like, sometimes it's like some people don't even want to learn what a good relationship even looks like. They don't even want to believe it, you know? And some of them are really so, I'm not going to say her name, but I'm going to say her name. Brittany Renner, she said how she liked being a side chick in certain relationships because she wanted to just see how the love in the relationship really wasn't real.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
She wanted
how
to
it wasn't real for the other people.
For the other
Yeah.
people. It
Oh,
can't be real
like, oh, you
because
think
he's
you
willing
got
to
a good
step
man.
out.
Oh, okay.
He's sleeping with me.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Exactly. So it's like some people are, and I'm not saying she is, but some people are so like caught up to this part where they want to be a detriment because they've never experienced this. That
Sounds
even
like
if they see
self-sabotage
it,
too.
yeah, they just, you know, I don't cut slack. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I agree with you, but there's some of the other side that's like a little finicky.
Do you think that was someone who was unhappy that was trying to bring unhappiness to other couples as well? Or
It could definitely be.
I think that's what it kind of sounds like too. Like, oh yeah, like
Or they
because what if
challenge
you
it.
were the reason that this person? What if you're the first person now that this person steps out of their relationship for? Like, you're just giving them like
Because you made yourself so enticing,
Enticing,
to
yeah.
prove a point.
And available.
It's true. Like, sometimes you don't know that what you're doing is toxic or it's unhealthy because you're in it. You're stuck in it, and this is the only example that you've had, so you think it's cool, or you're there for the wrong reasons. If you're there for money, like, I think a lot of times people are willing to take so much when they are paid. It sucks, right? I disagree with it. I hate everything about it, but that's for my life. Like, you could be a billionaire. If I don't feel good in your company, if I don't feel
With a B?
respected or
wait, right?
A B.
Hold up.
Yes, she said a B.
I'm gonna feel good all the time. It's like I'm joking.
I'm gonna make myself feel
I'm
good.
not saying
Do you, boo?
that. I think we all have a price technically, right?
Right,
But
absolutely.
so much of my price is just not rooted in money. Like, I'm not saying that I couldn't enjoy certain things, but when the money is removed, then what? Like, I know that the saying is like, you want to cry in a whatever
Rolls
or
Royce.
Yeah, but it's like I don't actually want to cry at all. That's what I need you
But
to
you gonna
understand.
cry
gonna cry
regardless. That's the
sometimes.
point. You gonna cry
But
regardless.
I wanna
Don't you want to
minimize
cry
that.
under the stars?
I want to.
But wait.
Yeah, the ones in the sky, not necessarily the ones in the car.
But you want to
know
know
what I'm
something?
saying? Like-
But I learned, like, when I was single, I'm not gonna lie, right? When I was single, imagine you are used to dating a guy that drives in this nice ass G-Wagon, like you just are, you've been dating this person for a while, right? And then there's this really good guy. He's so sweet to you. He has a lot going on. Like, he's smart, has a lot going on, whatever. I don't even know how to explain this person, but he's respectful to you. He does sweet things, but he drives a car that you're not attracted to. I'm not going to say what kind of car because I get in trouble for that, but he drives a car that ain't what you expecting because you used to ride around in this G-Wagon, so whatever. So whole time, this is just something that I have learned from when I was single. Whole time, this person actually, the G-Wagon was capping compared to the person that has the chill car because they actually have way more going on. They have, they just chose not to have the G-Wagon. They can have the G-Wagon, but they're just smarter with their finances.
Like Warren Buffett.
So, yeah, but that's why, because exactly, we see those people like, not even Elon Musk, it was someone else.
The rich men love.
Yeah, they be wearing a crate, like, I'm telling you, I've experienced it myself where it's just
Same.
like, you could have a motherfucking Wraith if you wanted to, but that's not everybody's style. So it's like sometimes we count people out or we look at people and we judge them from their appearance. And a lot of times the people that shine ain't the gold or the people that, so it's like sometimes I have experiences where I didn't judge people or I didn't look at someone and say, oh, I ain't about to go hang out with that person because they look like a bum. But then, like, I would hang out with people just because I was just trying to, make friends, whatever. And I would be really surprised at the results I would get from people that I just gave a chance. So I think in the dating pool, sometimes you just don't give people chances and you end up passing up people who have so much potential or who are more than what you expected them to be. Sometimes you just have to go outside of what your norm is. And because that's something that I always, every time I was
people have
surprised.
turned women out with luxury rentals and luxury experiences.
Right, but I'm saying step away from that.
No,
because,
I know, I agree with you. No, I
Yeah.
don't disagree with you.
Well,
but
say you agree with me because I need to hear
agree,
more.
I agree with you.
I need to hear more.
But it's
accepted.
unfortunate that
Yeah.
it's like, see, this is what I gathered.
But I've done that. I have no
get
problem
it,
with
I
that.
get it. This is what I gathered from what you've done.
Mm-hmm.
Or what you said, not done.
Yeah, I
That
did it.
a guy could turn a girl out and make her delusional because she decides that the lifestyle he provided is the only lifestyle that she's willing to accept. And it's really only based by the materials and nothing to do with how she's actually treated. So now you have a girl who experiences a G-Wagon, she experiences a jet, she experiences these trips, mansions, and all these different things, but he doesn't treat her right at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then she ends up in a dating pool because he was an asshole, right? And now the guy who drives a Civic is beneath her, but yet he'll treat her better than the G-Wagon guy.
Why
And
do you
then-
just play me like this?
And then
even say
what
this.
happens is the dating pool is trash. The dating pool gets the blame. And it's like, no,
You
you're just being delusional. But here's the thing, I'm not gonna lie. Just like how you said before, money can make a woman really have some type of happiness, even, despite how he is to you.
Yeah.
Right? You can find something to be happy with a man with money. Right? But the problem that ends up happening is you're never fulfilled. You may be happy, but you're never fulfilled.
Yeah. Can I say something real quick? I think for women in general, I think it's also because of thinking longevity wise. Like, I always have my future in mind, or when I'm dating, I always have my children, my future children. I always have those things in mind. We ain't thinking about y'all for real. We think about, okay, when I have kids, can my kids go to private school? Can my kids be provided for properly? Can my kids have a nice room? I want to paint it like this and put this right here. Like, sometimes as a woman, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm thinking of longevity, and I'm thinking of what the man can bring to my life when, okay, say I'm a woman that's like, all right, I may have my shit together and I want someone that can at least like do what I plan to do for my child and more. Honestly, you always want more, men or woman. You want more.
No, I agree, but the problem that happens is it's like, okay, yeah, and I listen, I'm not saying, hey, you can't look at it from a smart a smart aspect and saying, well, if this person can possess the ability to possess these different types of materials that cost X, Y, and Z, he can be able to potentially afford a future because he has the money now. But we also always got to keep in mind a lot of people lose money all the time.
Absolutely.
And then on the top, on the other end of the spectrum, is like, and when you have that mindset, in my personal opinion, you can then taint your child's mindset when it comes to character. Because just because this person has good money or money doesn't mean he can teach this person how to be a good man or teach that woman how to be a
Right.
good
I've seen that as well.
woman
Right.
as a father or mother, whoever that person is. So now when we put too much pressure and too much importance on having the money, we're now taking away what it is to actually create a good person with that person.
Absolutely.
And that's what we got to really think longevity wise. Because I see a lot of girls crying and they're like, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say no names, but there's girls crying like, yeah, my guy is rich, but he's never here for the kid.
Right.
So now the kid is suffering.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, cool. Yeah, he could go to a private school. Yeah, he could do all this or she could do all that. But guess what? They still don't have a father. You know what I'm saying? Or a mother or whomever.
Have
And at the end
resentment.
of the day, you know, that person could grow up and be another terror. They're just a rich terror.
Right.
And it's just an ongoing cycle. So we really got to start honing in on who's a good person. And then how can we help this person become their potential? You know, how can we contribute to that, I should say, because they're in the control of that.
That's why I said that billionaire thing. I know it sounds crazy, and sometimes I hate like going off about this because then people misunderstand me and they're like, "Oh, she's okay with a man that's not having any money or being
No.
broke or being a bum." I just, when you really start to like work on yourself and you realize like what life is truly about, money is a resource. We all need it. I'm not ever going to make it seem like I don't want a man that makes a certain amount of money so that we are comfortable, so that we can have certain luxuries of life, so that we're not living check to check, so that we can't give our kids certain things. But I need to be able to feel, like you said, fulfilled. I need to be able to feel like I actually have a partner and I'm just not in a financial relationship. I can be in a financial relationship with a bank. I could be in a financial relationship with a lender. I don't need to actually share a house with you and share a bed with you and share my life with you and my family with you. I don't need to do all of that if the only thing you can provide is money. It's just not enough. It's because money would never be enough for me. If I just said, oh, I just want to make this amount of money in my life and that's my only goal, I feel like you're a shell of a person. Like I need to feel fulfilled in my life. That's why we all, I think, are here with purpose beyond bread. Like, yes, is Jay-Z a billionaire? Not to keep bringing him up, but is he a billionaire? Of course. But he has a great amount of purpose here. And so once you get to a certain level with money, it's like, all right, cool, you got that. So what else can you offer? What else can you bring to the table? I think we've all met rich jerks. We've all met really wealthy people who are assholes. And you're like, ew, like, I don't want to come to your house. I don't want to party with you. So I'm most certainly not going to lay down with you or have a baby with you unless it's just, again, you're like an ATM. You're just a financial transaction. And I'm not sharing my life with you. I'm not even giving life for you if that's all you can bring to the table. I can't do it. So, and this is as a person, I don't have $1 million, just so y'all know. I would love $1 million. Okay. Yeah. But I need more than that. The currency of who you are as a person is more valuable.
Right.
I have a question. If we're talking about like the currency of who you are as a person, what do we tell the audience? How do you get over that first hurdle of they don't look like this? They don't have this much money. They don't dress a certain way. They don't have a certain car. They don't meet some of those boxes that you think are necessary for you to, pursue something with them. So what would y'all tell? I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know what to tell people. All I can say is be real with yourself.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't really know what that means. They need a list. Being real with yourself means X. It means Y. It means 1. It means 2. It means 3. But what information can we give like the audience in saying like, yo, if you keep hitting that wall, this is the first hurdle you need to get over so that you can find somebody who is good for here, who has the currency as a person that you said, who has that type of character and that type of currency.
I mean, I'm happy to answer it. I think that, like you said, you got to get real with yourself, right? Like I am a big proponent of get what you want, but asterisk, like get what you want, be reasonable, don't be delusional, but also really prioritizing. Like, write your list down, really look at your list. If your list is filled with an extreme amount of superficial things, listen, we're human beings, right? We're fleshy. We like to be attracted to people. So don't subject yourself to like, well, he's a good man, Savannah, but I don't want to kiss him and I don't want to have sex with him. He's still not the one, okay? He is
Yeah, that's
still
not
not
good.
the guy because you require physical attraction. So be realistic about your list. If your list is extremely excessive, if it has like more than 30, 40 things on it, it's like, think about you. What would you want? If someone came up to you and gave you a list of 50 things and you're like, damn, I only got 25, but I'm decent, I'm still a good. If that's your vibe, then understand that may also be their vibe, right? Like they don't possess all 50 of the things you want. If I could just type in a computer, yeah, he would be amazing, right? He no misses, like none whatsoever. Bow-legged, 6'4".
I'm not
Love
sure, bro.
love the Lord,
Love the
all
Lord.
the things, but that's just, it's not always realistic. So I'm not saying settle because I don't want to confuse that message. I'm not saying settle, but it is really getting an understanding of who you are. And like I said earlier, be the person that you want, right? And be realistic about what that looks like. Your environment plays a part. I just watched somebody say recently, like she moved away. She moved to a different country in the pursuit of love. Because yes, she had worked on herself. Yes, she had given all these different people opportunities, but she felt like within my geography, he's not here. And she moved. And she met her husband within 6 months of that move in a totally different
Hey,
country.
America's trashy, bro.
So it's,
Oh my God.
you know,
For men
I'm
and
not saying
women.
it's
America is
everyone's
trashy,
story,
bro.
I'm
but
not single.
if you say you want something,
That's what be blowing my mind.
What happened?
Nothing,
When
bro.
I said America's trashy, but I love him.
No, we just talking shit about you over here. It's okay.
Yeah, I think you have to try some things. I think you got to be realistic about switching up your angle, but also like don't take too many shorts, right? Because too many shorts creates resentment.
So, we've talked about like having standards and knowing when you're delusional and this, that, and the other. But I think what's most helpful for the audience is for us to be able to give some type of context on like what is the number one hurdle you have to get over in order to figure out what is your number one, gotta have it. I can't start nothing with you without this one thing. And I understand it's going to be different, obviously it may not be different for men and women, but how do we figure out and get past like the aesthetics? How do we get past the superficial stuff? Not about the car, not about the house, not about uh, a BBL or a six pack or whatever. But like, how do we get beyond that to assess what is the one or two things that we really just can't do without in, building a relationship with somebody,
I feel
lasting relationship?
Sex. No, but I'm just joking. But like a lot of
very
people,
What you gonna
it's
ask?
important. A lot of people have their whole relationship based off sex. But that was just a joke. Go ahead.
very important. I think, like if in your singleness, like I think about myself, one of the things I value the most about being with myself is peacefulness. Like I enjoy
Mhm.
how peaceful I feel when I am just with me. And so my idea of getting into a relationship is only that it will enhance my life, right? I'm only going to get into a partnership if it brings myself, what I have going on, to the next level, if it enhances it. So one of the biggest things for me is someone who values peace, someone who knows how to be that, someone who knows how to create that, someone who knows how to combat when that's not when things feel crazy. They know how to de-escalate it and not escalate it. So it's really about figuring out what couple of things do you really enjoy about being single, and then you want to almost magnify that with another person. So like you said, it's going to vary for so many people. And I don't think men or women, again, I think it's based on the type of relationship you want, because some people might not value peacefulness as much as I do. It's really about what can you do for the rest of your life. If you get in a relationship with this person, what do you want to do with them mostly for the rest of your life?
Mhm.
And that is where you start. That's
So,
where you start.
Alan was saying like one of the baselines back in the day was like, do you have a job? Right? That was a baseline. Given the context and the history, they were coming off of the depression, and realistically, nobody was trying to go back into another struggling household, marriage, whatever. I think right now in 2023, the new baseline question that needs to be had with both men and women, with each other, is are you a hard worker? And by worker, I'm not just talking about job. I'm talking about, are you a hard worker in a relationship? Are you a hard worker on yourself? Are you a hard worker for your family? If you're not, then more likely than not, this relationship with you is not going to work. Because when push comes to shove, life is going to already throw us all of our hills. You're going to get tired, you're going to tap out, and you might not be willing to work hard anymore. I'm not saying struggle, but I'm saying you still have to put the work in. And if you're not willing to put the work in and you want the relationship to come easy, more likely than not, you won't have that relationship that you're looking for.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good baseline that hits a lot of points. So it's
Yeah.
not like only about money, only about sex, as this one
I did
says.
not say that.
But it
That
hits
wasn't
a
even
lot
my
of
real answer.
it hits a lot of points that I feel like a lot of people would find very important to have in a relationship.
I agree.
So that was a good baseline. I would say that that's a good baseline for 2023.
Yeah,
What?
I have to say this before I get out of here that I'm so surprised I have agreed with you so many times. That's crazy. Wow.
Really?
Are all
He's
of
not
you
that
blown away by
he's not that bad actually.
Wow, look at you.
You know, he really pisses me off because I
you.
love him.
I'm proud.
I hate that
Yeah,
he's just so good.
I know, I
You
like
do
you.
okay.
It's 2023. He's a little evolved actually.
Is it the glasses?
I'm about to be 30.
Okay, he didn't do that good the whole time. Now give me a compliment because I'm jealous.
I agree with you. I agree with
I'm
you
about to be
about so
30.
much stuff.
Thank you. I appreciate
You know
it.
what?
You mean that?
I don't know if you can like link this to what Rico said. I just wanted to add one thing to that. It's willingness.
Mm.
It's actually because you said hard work, and I was like, what's the word? Like
That's a good one.
the word to
Yep.
to tie it
That's
in
so
together.
good.
It's really like the willingness.
You have the willingness to
Yeah, the willingness to put in the work.
Yeah.
The will,
Yeah.
and again, like you said, the work extends across so many different categories
Yeah.
of personal currency, as you said earlier.
Yeah.
Like, is the person gonna fold? Is the person gonna just run away? Is the person gonna, like, man, fuck this shit?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's really the willingness to put in the work.
I love
thought
all
of
of
another
those
one, guys.
answers.
Hold on, thank you,
But
Kat.
before
Thank you,
you-
Aaron.
The
Another
most
one-
important.
Another
right.
one could be another baseline we could have is what's your threshold?
Oh, for your boundaries.
Yeah, like or your willingness. Are you only willing to go through 3 obstacles a year? You know what I'm saying? Or do you have the capacity to go through 7?
yeah.
Why would I tell you that at
Right,
first?
on the first.
Yeah, that's
So you can decide.
How many times you gonna beat my ass? I'm only gonna beat you up 5 times.
When you're picking somebody and you already know off the rip if they've shown you that, I can't do that. I can't deal with that type of behavior. Okay, but they're cool in all these other aspects. But then you see another red flag. It's like, do you fold on that red flag?
Yeah.
Or is that your boundary?
I don't know.
Your
To me,
breaking
that
point.
just
Yeah,
that
I
just
don't
says
know.
I'm a
Like, there's some people
decide
that
what
have
I'm gonna
like
put
2
you through.
things, right? There's some people that are one and done.
Yeah.
You do one thing, I'm done.
And
If
I'm-
we have one situation, I'm done.
I used
There's
to
some
do
people
that.
that have
a harder measuring stick though, because a lot of times, like I think about my life, if I was somebody would have asked me, could I have dealt with something before I actually experienced it, I
Right.
might have said no, like heck no, I ain't dealing with that, or I may have thought I wasn't strong enough to get through that season in my life. So I think sometimes you don't really know because challenges look like a lot of things, not just cheating or lying or deceit. Challenges look like you lost your job. Challenges look like you got sick and now I have to take care of you, or I have to hire someone to take care of you, which then becomes a 2-part strain. You're not who you were. And financially, we might be tight because now we have to pay for home care. So I don't think it's not a terrible measuring stick, but I think it's harder because sometimes you don't even know how strong or resilient you can be until you're in something. You
And
don't.
let's
you
be
don't-
honest. If you're trying to impress somebody that you just started dating, you're gonna lie.
You're gonna embellish, yes.
Beginning of the relationship, you can't find anything better than me. I'm the perfect catch. You get what I'm saying? So these are a little difficult. It sounds good, guys, but it sounds good. I'm gonna just stop because I don't want to be the most, you know what? I'm just saying. Are we really gonna be honest when people ask us these questions? Because I know I'm not.
Well, I don't even think it's a question that you physically ask. I think it's something that you have to
Okay, for
have.
yourself.
Yeah,
Okay.
and as you observe and analyze the other person's behavior,
Yeah.
that's how you work down that checklist.
Right.
Because if they've already shown you that they're a one and done person, then there you go.
And it also depends on the person, though, because I've been a one and done person with a certain person or certain people. I'm not a one and done person with someone else. I want to go through this. I want to experience this with you, and I'm willing to forgive. I'm willing to go through this traumatic experience. I'm willing I want to love you. So I'm willing, because you're the person that I know that I want to be with. I'm willing to go through that with you. So it's a little bit more difficult when
Did
you
he
think
give
of
you
it.
problems? All right, so this is just I'm making an analysis here.
Mhm.
Boom. Because I believe, and I'll tell you afterwards. But my question is, yes or no? Did you guys, you and that person that you weren't one and done with, whomever that was, did you guys go through? Did you guys go through obstacles early within your relationship? Let's say within the first 3 to 6 months.
Mhm.
That's my point. So like, the thing is, when you go through
Why would
things,
you ask?
because when you go through things early with your
When
You're
partner,
in love.
you set the tone that you can go through things with them. So the things are gonna keep on coming on.
I went through things early with the person that I wasn't one and done with, though, because
what I'm
they
talking
showed
about.
me
No,
something
he is
different.
talking about the one you
The
weren't
one that was one and done, you might have had nothing wrong for 2 years in this one
No,
situation.
that wasn't the situation. It wasn't it. So you got to ask for both sides, because that's just what it
About to
was.
say,
No.
yeah, because you could have
You didn't
waited
you
till
didn't
you
like the
didn't
other
like
one.
him
Yeah.
enough.
You didn't like
And
it.
as we grow, we go through different situations. I was at fault for some of the situations because I had baggage and I had shit that I wasn't ready to come clean about. So again, like, it just depends on where you are in your life and what you decide. Okay, I want to make some changes. I don't want to be one and done with you. I see potential in you, and I respect you enough to want to go through this with you, because I want to grow and heal from whatever it is that I've had issues with. So
When you-
again, like,
so when you have when you think that you have had situations where you were at fault,
mhm.
do you feel like you
Nice.
sympathy date?
Huh?
Like, do you date out of sympathy because you know you were wrong?
No, I don't do that.
Are you sure?